We're here at Gathering of Light. We're doing that love heart-to-heart, unity, consciousness, connection. So whatever way you call that opening of your heart, the song calls it love, we want to make sure you come with an open heart and connect with each other spiritually. We're here to grow spiritually, each one of us. We want to stay aware, awake, in tune to the oneness that is here for us all, so that each individual can be strengthened in your personal connection to the divine. So, we are today, as we've heard, happy anniversary, Gathering of Light. We've actually had a Saturday or Sunday celebration, depending upon what building we were in, where we are, and for the last 27 years. So, yeah, very excited. 27 is 2 and 7, and that's 9. I like nines. Nines are good numbers. Just really, really excited to be here today to continue to discover what Gathering of Light is all about. And that's why I'm here to reinforce this idea. A lot of people say, oh, what was your vision? What is Gathering your vision? And I have been asked, after going to seminary and being ordained at the Cathedral of St. John the Divines in Manhattan with this big ceremony and all this fanfare there, and not knowing anything that I was going to do with it, because I had to get a real job, support my 4 kids that didn't have anybody else supporting them at that time. So here I am, a single mom, doing the, what am I going to do with this, right? But the one thing about this, I felt like this presence with me, ever since I was a little kid. Ever since I was a little kid, I always felt this presence. And I'm saying this to all of you, knowing that just like our words of wisdom said, you know it too. You know it too. And I want to talk to that little place in there, that place in you that knew it too all along. I love the grandeur of Sunday morning church. In fact, I lived in the Bronx, and even as a little kid, I can go to Mass daily. I go right across the street and go in there. I loved it. I just was a little confused about the dogma and the doctrine and the stirrings of my little voice, of the heart, my heart opening, and my heart embracing. They say that Sunday morning is the most segregated time in the country. Right? Everybody goes to their spots, or the whole weekend, basically, when you go to work. Everybody goes to worship, they go to their designated spots. And even as a little kid, that didn't make sense to me. Love people. I love this upliftment. Love that we're here in a big ceiling in the windows where it opens out. And we know that the connection goes beyond the ceiling here. And that stirring of that place within, that saying, we need to say yes to all of it. To all people, to all ideas, to all of the circumstances of our lives. And knowing nothing about Buddhism at that time, but the 10,000 things, right? The 10,000 things that just happen in life as life's journey takes us. But as that light and that stirring wants to carry us and say, just be the witness, see, be a part of, experience, allow for the things that come in, but never, ever, ever lose that connection, that sense of hope, that sense of awe, that sense of wonder, that sense of yes to life. Otherwise, we get beaten down. Otherwise, we want to protect. Otherwise, we go inside and things get harder and harder to bear, rather than being these opportunities for further expansion and opening of our hearts, our minds, our souls. And reaching out to that. So now, as I'm here at this cathedral, and I'm getting phone calls from people saying, is there any kind of interfaith or interspiritual place on Long Island? Not that I know of. But I'll write down your name and number in case I hear of anything. I'll call you back. The list started growing. Guess what number I got to? 9. Could have got to 27. I was pretty impressed by the ordination, and I kind of figured after 9, was I going to get struck by lightning? Even though I know I trust this God, and I'm not going to go back into that whole thing, but I did say yes. That means I'm supposed to do what I'm asked to do, so I think I'm being asked to do this, whether I want to do it or not. And believe me, the last place that a single mom who's really just trying to get her act together with 4 kids wants to do is to do this little side project. But showing up every week and watching as this energy unfolds, as the different people started coming into the community and added a ray of that light, right? That reflection of who they are, and brought it into our community, whether to stay or whether to just bring it in and mix it up and then to go, has been this tremendous gift. It's something, I would love to give to you all that is in my heart that I have been given as I continue to walk this journey. But that's the idea of being here. Nobody can give you what is yours to have in this journey. You have a specific part to play in the awakening of humanity. And that is in every step that you take in your life, the people that you meet, the children you are asked to nurture and develop. We are asked to give them awareness, openness, light, and love. And to maintain that no matter what. Oof. Because I think the Buddhists were being very fair in their 10,000 things. I think we can all attest that we can probably make that list a lot longer. The universe is saying, there's no need. It's just stuff. In fact, the universe itself, as we're finding out, is even grander and grander than we've ever imagined. And it's just a tip of the iceberg of what the oneness is, of what spirit is, of what soul is. As a student of A Course in Miracles, there is a line in there that love can't be taught. It's beyond what can be taught. Oneness is beyond what can be taught. Unity, all of us getting along, is beyond what can be taught. I'll have to say this again. This is a banner of, this is not our specific banner. It's something anybody can get. I mean, we're not attached to any place. We're not, attached to any political group, any religious group, anything. I say we are the purple that travels through it all. So, you get around it, it goes in through some of the other sides. And that was always me in my life. I mean, I love the gift that my parents gave me in the discipline of a Roman Catholic upbringing. Because I need, at least once a week, to move out of the 10,000 things and go somewhere where I'm getting refueled, where I'm getting reminded to say yes to life, to remind myself to get connected. And as it turns out, as the different people in their sparks of light came in, they said, well, let's do workshops in between that week. Let's do prayers in between that week. Let's chant in between that week. And right now, as a community, that's what we do. So now, not only on Saturdays, but then you can do a workshop on a Tuesday, and you can do, or Thursday, depending on what the week is, or you can do some chanting on a Tuesday, and you can do our Goddess Rosary, as it is, with and getting prayers and getting that connection, in all different ways. All different ways. Saying yes to how the divine has been reflected in this world. And doing it all in community. There's the big thing. That's the difference. Because, you see, even before going to seminary, as a mom, I didn't know what to do. Can anybody relate to that as a parent? I don't know if you guys all had all the books and you knew all the right things to do, I went to 3 different parenting classes when my son was born. They told me 3 different things to do. So it only reinforced that idea of nobody knows what they're doing here. And that's the same thing with faith, right? No, everybody tells you different things to do. But you know what? On certain days, some things work and some things don't work, right? Some days you need stillness and quiet. And other days you need to shout to the universe and you need to dance your heart out. And other days you need that consistency to kind of like work it into your being. And so that's what we do. And following that energy of what's happening in the world, but doing it in community, to saying that it's okay, and that we learn from each other, and opening our hearts. And it turns out that there was a whole other group of people in Snowmass, Colorado, meeting in secret. These were heads of states. This was Pope John Paul at the time. There was the Dalai Lama. There were all these different heads of different religions getting together and saying, what do we got in common? How do we get everyone to realize it doesn't matter? Without saying it doesn't matter. Because a lot of people in these positions aren't allowed to say, it doesn't matter. It matters that we get deep, and we get connected, and we get real, and we get honest. Most of all, we walk the connection. No matter what the world has given us to disconnect with, we stay in connection. And Brother Teasdale was at some of these conferences, and he came up with the term interspirituality. So it was gathering of light. It was originally incorporated as multi-faith spiritual. Because I was like, we're not interfaith, we're more than that. Like multi-faith, but there's a spirit. Where's the spirit? So I don't know what to call it. I don't know. Then this interspiritual came around. I was like, wow, this is so cool. This is us. It holds the values. It helps us to see that you do become something, but not somebody else. You become more authentically you. You become a you that you forgot about from that time when you had that stirring and you saw it and felt it. And you get to let that stirring become the adult you that you are today. The one that brings peace and unity and connection into everything you do and changes the world just by you being in it and walking into the room. Because you just going into the room, everybody feels it because it's all about energy. They feel it. They're just, there's something about when you just hang out. It doesn't matter what you say, you do. The rules and the regulations and how to get it right or get it wrong. Again, everybody's, no matter who you are, no matter who they are out there, we're all just trying to figure this out. One day in prayer I said, it's like, why do you want me to do this? And I keep getting the answers, and because I know you'll keep showing up. I don't know why. I'm like a dog on a bone. When you give me something to do, I have to do it. So I keep coming. It's no miraculous thing. But it is a miraculous thing of us coming together as community. And community matters. In the deepest teachings of all the different faiths, they talk about it. Create the Sangha. Create the community. Have that aspect. If you want to go deep, you need other people that are going to walk beside you. Not ahead of you, not behind you, but beside you. And say, yeah, some days are really tough with this. Some days I can't remember to connect, but I really wanted to. And I trust that you can do it. And I'll stand beside you. And I love that reading there. I says, he was an Episcopal bishop that actually, after he retired, wrote all this. In his also exchange in interfaith dialogue and talking to everybody. That idea of that's what we really need. And to find out that what really goes with you. I mean, I didn't know. I didn't know what to do. So, I knew that the Roman Catholic was fine and great, but there was something else, but there was this mystery and something deep and old that I was connected to. So I went into my Celtic roots and started, doing that Celtic spirituality. And whatever everybody else was doing Native American, I'm going, So mine's a little different, right? So I got a little bit, and I felt that connection to energy a little bit more. I learned about that. I started doing Buddhist meditations, and I know I went to a Zen Zazen, and I lasted 17 hours once in meditation, and I was like, I'm out of here. I can't do it anymore. That's way too much. You know, but pieces I gained, and I knew it was authentically me. And that's what we do here, is we present all these other things. You get tools that spark what is authentically you in an environment and a community that supports that. And doesn't say there's anything wrong with you trying to explore you and have an idea of who you are in connection to the divine. What is your light? What is your spirit? Who is your soul? That's what we want to see. The movie Avatar, he said, I see you. Gathering of light as a community that says, I see you. I see your soul. I see your light. And every week, we're going to keep showing up to say, if you want that reflected back, well then, come on down, because we're going to keep being here.